language used as a blind language, Honorable Speaker. Tell him to use another language, not to be say blind. Honorable Speaker, I assume he must say, are we blind, Honorable Speaker? And to protect the house and let the house know so that we use a parliamentary language in this house.
Honorable Cynthia, can you respond to the same?
Honorable Speaker, English is a very is a good language.
Honorable Cynthia, can you respond to the query?
I am responding, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to build my case, Honorable Speaker.
Please respond to the
I am
query.
responding, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed.
So, Honorable Speaker, time and again, the Honorable DS, Deputy Speaker of the County Assembly of Nandi, the mighty Deputy Speaker, Honorable Speaker, has
Honorable
always
Cynthia,
referred...
I think you are praising the Deputy Speaker. You're not responding.
Honorable Speaker, I am going to respond.
Proceed.
So, Honorable Speaker, he has always said that I have the highest level of education, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, and that is the advantage that I have, Honorable Speaker. I have not said they are blind. Honorable Speaker, I said they have, some of them have decided to turn a blind eye. Honorable Speaker, I want to pay Honorable Mengage for English classes.
No, Honorable Cynthia, you are now out of order. You are completely out of order.
I did not
Honorable
say
Cynthia,
they are blind. I said they have decided to turn a blind eye.
Your comment is fair up to that point of
Thank you, Honorable
clarification.
Speaker.
There is no payments here.
Thank you,
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker. Thank you. So, Honorable Speaker, I am rising to support this report because, Honorable Speaker, if you see the recommendations that have been made here, Honorable Speaker, it is the questions that we've been asking time and again. These are the questions that we've been asking since April 2018, Honorable Speaker, which is a year and a half down, Honorable Speaker, as we speak today. And in that paper or in that report that was submitted to this House, Honorable Speaker, I happen to be part of the members of that particular committee on Pick and Pack, Honorable Speaker. There are 9 recommendations to the executive, and there are additional 3 recommendations, and there's a conclusion, Honorable Speaker. The conclusion, Honorable Speaker, said the county government of Nandi is advised to ensure that they pay the pending bills in the financial year 2017-2018. Honorable Speaker, it goes ahead and says, if it is not sufficient to clear the pending bills, the county government of Nandi should be able to budget in the next subsequent year, 2018 and 19, to clear the pending bills, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as we speak right now, the pending bills amount at that time in 2018, April, is almost double now, Honorable Speaker, including the others that have also accrued, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, when we came to this assembly, before we knew what is supposed to happen and what is not supposed to happen, there was money, as Honorable Freda has alluded a while ago, that was meant for the pending bills. Honorable Speaker, I hope you are aware that we rebudgeted that money and used it for other purposes, Honorable Speaker. And that is why we have a huge bill on pending bills, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the motion is straightforward. The resolutions that are supposed to be made by this county assembly, they are straightforward, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we should have the CEC Finance, who was here the other time, Honorable Speaker. I have the advantage of being a member of the Pick and Pack Committee. Honorable Speaker, for the record of this House, the CEC Finance disowned a special audit report that was submitted to the county government of Nandi. He went ahead and said the directive by the COB to constitute a pending bills committee was not a directive. It was a suggestion. It was on them to either take it or leave it. They did not accept, or he did not accept, that it was a directive, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, for someone who disowns documents or papers or communications and directives from all levels of government, Honorable Speaker, we are hoping that he will not disown this one, Honorable Speaker. And that is why we are here to pass this particular motion, Honorable Speaker, saying that this particular CCM first must appear to the floor of this House to be able to shed light on the several issues that we have, Honorable Speaker, and tell us what is not happening, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I am rising to support it, Honorable Speaker, because as we speak right now, we have so many issues. The effects of the unpaid, the pending bills, Honorable Speaker, it has led to serious levels of the government not realizing its targets, the revenue targets, Honorable Speaker, because the money has not been paid for the people who offered services, Honorable Speaker. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, it has negative effects, Honorable Speaker, on the social economic status of this county. As we speak, Honorable Speaker, back at home or in our wards, Honorable Speaker, even when a person gets stuck when they are going for a certain ceremony somewhere, they call you to tell you that they are stuck. Honorable Speaker, that tells you there is nothing that is working in this county, Honorable Speaker. And it is because someone who did a dispensary or constructed a dispensary or an ECD or even the showground, the sporting facility here, Honorable Speaker, it cannot be used because the contractor has locked it with 7 padlocks, Honorable Speaker, and went away with the key. Honorable Speaker, we cannot move as a county, and we need to be able to pay these people so that we can use these facilities. We have people who still go for 10 kilometers for them to access health facilities, and there is a facility that is well equipped and it is closed because the contractor has the key and he has all right, Honorable Speaker, or she has all right, Honorable Speaker, to keep the key because he has not been given money. So, Honorable Speaker, it is only prudent that we pass this motion to be able to see to it that this county government of Nandi, Honorable Speaker, pays the pending bills, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, do not forget that the people who are supposed to be paid the pending bills are the same people who have been given other works, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, Honorable Speaker, we are writing 1,001 letters. 1,001 letters, Honorable Speaker, not congratulating the contractors. It is 1,001 letters saying this, a certain contractor awarded a certain job, Honorable Speaker, has zero capacity. They do not have capacity because they are waiting on another project that they did for them to get money to be able to do those projects. So, Honorable Speaker, it is not only hurting our social economic sector, Honorable Speaker, but also our operations as a county, Honorable Speaker. We cannot move, Honorable Speaker, and for us to be able to move, these people need to be paid, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this motion in totality, Honorable Speaker, and I am glad that this directive came, Honorable Speaker. There is a famous and a very old saying that says the chickens have finally come home to roost, Honorable Speaker. It is the exact case in this particular scenario, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Gideon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Contrary to the belief by Honorable Mengej, the mover of the motion, to my inquiry on whether this motion is rightfully before the House, contrary to his belief that I would oppose this motion, much to his happiness, I am supporting this motion in totality, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think all of us, we know that we are hurting so much. I've just gone through some comments here for one of the bloggers in Nandils, self-proclaimed blogger in Nandils, just like we have a self-proclaimed leader of marginalized in this House. Mr. Speaker, in absentia.
But lucky that he's not here, otherwise we'd be debating now. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, there are three facilities in my ward that falls under pending bills. There is an ECD in Kimolonik, an ECD in Kaplelmet, and a dispensary in a place called Kapsean. This has been subject to a lot of debate. Every other time we visit a facility, I visit a facility, say, like a few minutes ago, we just came from Nandils, looking at the good, the kind of progress in Nandils Hospital. If I dare make an update in my Facebook page, I'll be met with another update of the status of Kaplelmet ECD, Kapsean Dispensary, and Kimolonik ECD that are in deplorable condition because they're pending and yet to be completed because they fall under pending bills. However, Mr. Speaker, the reason as to why I say I support this particular motion is because, Honorable Speaker, these were some of the projects that we would have earned what we call quick wins. But as Honorable Cynthia put it well, when we came in, before we knew what is right and what is wrong, I am quoting what she said, Honorable Speaker, we already had reallocated the funds meant for pending bills to other projects. Lucky enough, Honorable Speaker, at least the projects that we allocated those funds, including the several dispensaries and health centers, are now somehow in good shape. because we've come from Nandi Hills, we've seen the progress there, and we have visited a number of facilities across the county. Mr. Speaker, I support this motion because it tries to derive a formula in which we can clearly engage the executive in relation to these matters of pending bills. Mr. Speaker, I know there are pending bills that have been paid, but they are being paid in a manner, in a very opaque manner, in a manner that is suspicious, that we would say, like one Gifuitu said when he declared Kibaki the winner, that I don't know what that officer is doing with the results. They must be cooking something. And eventually, went further and revoked that statement, because already the country was burning because of that statement of they are cooking something. So at least for these 4 recommendations that Honorable Mengage have given, the prayers, and I wish this particular recommendation, or actually prayers in this motion, because I know this House will adopt, will actually be adhered to. Formation of a committee to look into this. The said CCM Finance to appear before us and give a plan. Mr. Speaker, I fully support this motion and pray hard that these particular recommendations are stick to, acted upon, so that we can be in the headlines for the good reasons that Nandi County is honoring its obligations and also liabilities. So I support the motion, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kirongo. Honorable Fred, I remember you had contributed. I don't know if you forget. Oh, let him just finish, then you can come in. Honorable Kirongo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I support the motion, Mr. Speaker, I want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge the sentiments made by Honorable Cynthia Muge and Honorable Gideon from Nandi Hills, that we were part of this problem. After election, Mr. Speaker, we sat down and rebudgeted the money. That's a fact. Now that it is hitting us hard, Mr. Speaker, it is simple to say the CEC member of finance. Mr. Speaker, I really support that these contractors be paid. Though it is a good motion actually, after the directive from the Minister of Finance, national government. In fact, I want to say those contractors are at a loss. Mr. Speaker, I want to say it's timely. As honorable members, let us support it. And I hope the county government of Nandi will pay these pending bills so that as elected members in this financial year, we actually don't face that. We've been told there is no much that we can do in terms of development. But if we follow such a directive, Mr. Speaker, and we pass this motion so that the CC Finance can adhere to this, Mr. Speaker, then we'll be on the safer side. Mr. Speaker, let us pass this motion so that the CC Finance can come here, explain to us the plans that he has, so that at least he saves this county from the mess that actually it is on social media, that Nandi is among the 15 counties that are likely not getting money from 1st of December. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I fully support the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Fred. Honorable Fred.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to move a motion of amendment on compliance on National Treasury's circular on payment of pending bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to move the following motion of amendment, that the motion be amended as follows. 1, handing following words appearing immediately after the words of service rendered to it, including non-payment of recovery of car loan and mortgage for members of county assemblies as at 30 January 2017, right? Or June 2017. Second, insert that the following include immediately after number 3, that the schedule of the payment of loans arising from the car loan and the mortgage from MCS, totaling to cash 67,879,375, being arrears be paid to county assembly. Number 3, that number 4 of the prayers of the motion motion be renamed number 5. I heard Cindy at the second.
Honorable members, I propose the question on the motion of amendment on compliance of National Treasury Circular as moved by Honorable Fred Kipkemboi. Same can be debated. I don't think there's a comment. Maybe I would want to put a question straight up. Honorable Mengechi, you want a comment?
Now that I'm the mover of the main motion, Honorable Speaker, it would be fair for you, the chair, to ask me whether I accept this amendment.
But you are giving your comments. Proceed with your comments, Honorable Mengechi.
I support the amendment, Honorable Speaker. I support the amendment. I know, Honorable Speaker, when we came in, we could not access the car loans and the mortgage because there was no money. So I support that this money be paid. This motion, I support the motion, the amendment motion.
Honorable Pius Murray, I'm sure you are part of the committee on the car loan mortgage. What say you about this? Because I'm sure part of the task of your committee is to discuss about car loan and mortgage. Have you read through the amendment? Do you have any comment before I put a question?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Prior to this amendment, I was trying to contribute to...
Maybe I put a question, then you can contribute to the motion. Let me just put on this amendment,
yes.
Then you can contribute to the motion after. Honorable members, I therefore wish to put a question on the motion of amendment as moved by Honorable Fred Kipkemboi, that this House adopts the 3 amendments and be read together with the motion. Will as many as of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Pius, proceed with your contribution of the substantive motion quickly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, it has been a long journey of fighting with this issue of pending bills. I remember the other time in the first assembly, there used to be a fight, Mr. Speaker, between the government and the contractors. And the same has remained unpaid for quite some time. And I think it is up to this time. And these pending bills have been classified as historical pending bills, Mr. Speaker. I want to support this motion, Mr. Speaker, that the payment to contractors should be made as soon as possible, because it is it's like it is going to affect the activities and the day-to-day running of this county, Mr. Speaker, if this cycle is not going to be honored. So, Mr. Speaker, a lot of projects have remained pending to this date, Mr. Speaker. The projects which were started way back, some of them were started way back in 2014, some in 2015, 2016, and 17, Mr. Speaker. So there was a claim that certain projects actually were supposed, according to agreements, they were supposed to be made, partially, payment to be made partially, so that the contractors may be able to complete those projects, Mr. Speaker. And up to now, if you talk with the contractor, that is what they are claiming, that they are supposed to be paid something so that they go complete the work and they are paid the remainder, Mr. Speaker. So if I may give an example of my ward, I have around almost 10 projects, Mr. Speaker, which are in historical pending bills. I have one known as a money market, which was a flagship project. By then, initially in 2017-18, it was not categorized as a pending bill. I remember it was budgeted, but nothing was done within the first financial year. During the second financial year, the money was budgeted, the same to the same project. Nothing was done in that second year. But in this financial year, which we are now, it has been taken back now to historical pending bills. And I've not been able to get the reason why they have done so. Another, I have Kamogoiwa water project. I have Kurgung Township ECD, which was paid partially, but it's remaining some little amount of money to be paid. There is Kabunyeria Primary, ECD, Kurukung VTC Twin Workshop, Gemesis and Rubet, and Fatalele Torol, ECD project, all of them have not been paid to date, Honorable Speaker. So I wanted to support this and request our government to pay, if it is possible, even tomorrow, for those who have completed their works, and for those who have not, to go and complete so that they may be paid. For the amendment, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I support this because car and mortgage is a right to this county, to these members, Mr. Speaker, and they should be paid. Whatever it was remaining in the other side should be paid to county assembly as soon as possible. And if possible, Honorable Speaker, you can also commit this to this committee of car loan and mortgage, so that we deliberate on this issue and make a follow-up. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Honorable Pius, the same is already in your domain. I don't have to commit it. It is firmly your responsibility. It's only that your committee is a new committee, so I'm sure you have a lot of work on your table. This should be your first order of business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we are going to start with this as soon as possible. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore wish, based on the comments and the contribution of honorable members, I seek to put a question on the motion by Honorable Emmanuel Rono on compliance of National Treasury cycle on payments, that this House resolve that 1, the county CC within the next 7 days constitute pending bills resolution committee, failure to which assembly shall undertake necessary sanction. Number 2, that the county CC finance to share with the county assembly pending bills payment plan within the next 7 days from the date of adoption of this motion. That number 3, that the county executive committee member for finance makes public the exact amount of money available for payment of all existing pending bills. That number 4, that the county executive committee member for finance, together with the chief officer, economic planning, and chief officer for finance, to personally appear before the committee of general oversight as contemplated under Standing Order 187A on 3rd December 2019 to shed light on all matters relating to the payment of pending bills, together with the adopted amendments as follows. That 1, adding the following words appearing immediately after the words was subsequent to it, including non-payment of recovery of car loan and mortgage of members of county assembly as at June 30th, 2017. 2, insert the following clause immediately after number 3, that the schedule of payment of loans arising from car loan and mortgage from MCS totaling to 69,879,335 being arrears to be paid to the county assembly, and number 3, which was number 4, to be moved as number 5. Will as many as of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, as directed by the motion, as at fasting order of business tomorrow, and I would wish the mover of the motion to confirm with us, I'm directing the clerks to be able to dispatch the resolution in separate letters. The first letter should bear resolution number 1, which is that the CC should within the 7 days constitute pending bills resolution committee. Number 2, you should also submit, the second letter must contain the second resolution. And lastly, the third letter must contain the number 5 now resolution, which calls for the same party CC, Chief Officer, Economic Planning, as well as Chief Officer Finance to personally appear on 3rd of December 2019. So the move of the motion, let us do things differently from previous times when we just adopt the motion and we just sit back. By tomorrow, by 9 a.m., I direct that the same be dispatched with immediate effect. Before then, the clerk's office to contact the office of the county secretary through the, I think we have a liaison officer. She should be able to notify the county secretary as well as the CC himself for the same, so that we are able to work within the limited time. Remember, the directive takes effect on 1st of December, and that should concern us because 1st of December is on Monday next week. So that throws everything into limbo that we plan for in December. For November, we seem to be sorted, yes, but for December, it's a question of wait and see. And I'm sure you should be really, really concerned, and I want to really appreciate the budget chair for bringing to the attention of the members in social media the same letters. It should come to your attention that the government is broke. The government has no money. What prevents you from thinking that the government will be very happy to curtail giving money to the 15 counties? Because they don't have money in the first place. So they would have been able to save part of it by denying the rest of us. And that is important. 15 out of 47 is a minority. The majority will be sorted. 32 counties will be okay. So there will be no so much noise. And the contractors and the public, you've seen the public supporting the CS Finance saying, that is right. We've been screaming, we've been fighting about it. So let us take it very critically, the move of the motion. Let us pick up my office as well as the office of the clerk, who is going to expedite these letters with immediate effect. Next order.
Order number 10, adjournment.
The House adjourn until the next sitting.